somebody hasn't done.
Hey there everyone, it's Jason, and I'm here at the Worldwide Technology Leadership Conference. And our focus at the conference this year is we're talking about ways that we can improve clarity and alignment, and also focusing on how we can help our teams be more smart, healthy, and customer focused. This is all inspired by reading the book The Advantage by Patrick Lenciono. And so what we've done today, we actually had some breakouts. We did an assessment, and then after we did that assessment to assess if we were smart, healthy, and customer focused, we did some ideation in both small groups, and then we shared in a large room to talk about things that we could do to improve how we are smart, healthy, and customer focused. And again, the reason we're here is as a company, our leadership thinks that we're all doing really well, but there are definitely things we can do to get better. And the thought was, if we take an assessment, that should get our brains thinking, and we can think about some specific things to do. So I had a great group of people in our room today, so I just wanted to share some of the thoughts that are out there. And so real life, a couple thoughts that came to mind. One of the things the book talks about is conflict is important. So do we have enough conflict, okay? And is it healthy? And how do we manage it? Do we have too much tribal knowledge? Because you can't scale if you're relying on specific people. You have to have some processes to promote alignment here. How do we share jobs so people understand when they need to work with someone else and kind of who does what? Do we hold everyone accountable to the same standards? That's something we should think about. And if you're a manager, do you hold all your team members to the same standards? Great thing we do is at Worldwide Technology, we have what we call the Integrated Management and Leadership Framework. It's kind of all of our core values and principles and practices. Why don't we talk about it more in our interviews so we can kind of set the stage up front? This is what it means to work for our company. Also, again, standards and clarity around how we do what we do. So if we have jobs that are done in different shifts or by different teams, why don't we always follow the same process? Also, we want to make sure our environment's more open and more inclusive, so we allow different perspectives. And I really liked this one. We talk a lot at Worldwide Technology about coaching. A lot of times we're doing coaching to improve things, but there's also the important thing of just providing appreciation and saying, hey, that was a job well done. That's something we need to do more of. So those all came out of taking our assessment. There were some great thoughts, and I really do thank everyone in our room for being open and sharing those. Now let's talk about some specific actions we could do. One thing we talked about is with using our leadership framework. Let's use that when we present it. Let's talk about working in teams, but also working cross-functionally with different parts of the company. Maybe if we have remote offices, they should go through our leadership framework together, because if you're in a remote office, you may have a different experience. Another thing we need to do is simple, consistent communication. Maybe this video helps with that. Maybe it doesn't. But again, something simple so everyone understands what we need to do, especially if it's to start a new project. So how do we kick off a project? Make sure we have the information we have in a clear, concise manner. We have an ongoing kind of sales meeting where we talk about our wins and our successes. We could also maybe use that to talk about some best practices for how we work as teams, so we kind of mix up the messaging, talk a little bit about the business, but also about how we work together. That might be a great way to leverage that existing meeting that's well attended. One thing I already mentioned it, we should appreciate others. Make sure people know they're doing a great job and that those efforts are not going unnoticed and they're contributing to provide business value. Kind of a puzzle that came up, this was a great one we talked about, is we train people when they join the company through a program called the Pathway. How do we refresh them? So, if you joined us a couple years ago, 3 or so years ago, how do we refresh you to make sure you're still current on those principles and all those things for how we operate the company? So that's kind of a puzzle we need to figure out. We talked about making a video to talk more about our culture, kind of like this. So trying to do that right now. And of course, a great thing that everyone can do, and there's nothing stopping you from doing it, is really saying, ask questions, learn about others, and really challenge yourself to say, meet someone new in the company, learn what they do, and then learn how you work with them. And it's through that type of questions and clarity that we can truly achieve alignment. So I want to say thank you to everyone who was in our room today. We had some great ideas, some great outcomes. Many of these things are things as a manager or a leader you can go do right now, and I would encourage you to do that. And of course, I look forward to the rest of the great ideas we have at our leadership conference here at Worldwide Technology.